Aloha and good afternoon. Thanks for tuning into This Is Now. I'm Dylan Ancheta. Ashley has the day off. New at noon, the state's Department of Law Enforcement announced another arrest of a deputy sheriff. Now, this is the third arrest of such nature within the last week. Around 8:30 Wednesday morning, authorities arrested 40-year-old Deputy Sheriff William K. Ke'ahi. He was arrested for alleged reckless endangering and harassment. Officers of the Criminal Investigations Divisions made the arrest, and he has since been released pending investigation. Ke'ahi is assigned to the Airport Division, and this is the third arrest of a state deputy sheriff within the last week. Yesterday, we learned about the arrest of 40-year-old Eric Mitamura for alleged harassment. Mitamura is assigned to the Capital Central Patrol Division. He was booked Tuesday morning and released pending investigation as well. And last Wednesday, Deputy Sheriff Alvin Turla, who works in the same division, was also charged with harassment. At this point, it's unclear if any of these cases are connected. And now to the latest in the news from overnight, where a bad crash on Oahu's North Shore sent 4 teenagers to the hospital. Multiple ambulances responded to the crash late Tuesday night. The vehicle the 4 teens were riding in crashed into a pole. All of this happened near Turtle Bay on Kamehameha Highway at around 9:30 Tuesday night. The victims are all 17-year-old boys. We're told they all needed advanced life support from EMS crews. No other cars are believed to have been involved, and there's no official word on what might have led up to the crash. And now to a hit and run out in East Oahu. A 57-year-old woman was seriously hurt after her moped was hit by a car in Ainahaina. HPD says just before 3 p.m. Tuesday, a vehicle was trying to pass the woman on Kalanianaole Highway. They crashed and the driver drove away without helping. The woman was thrown to the ground and was rushed to the hospital. She does not want to press charges against the other driver. A former OCCC officer who was addicted to meth has been convicted of murdering his mother in Maili. During trial, Anthony Pereira II admitted that he shot his mom, Barbara, in their home in 2016. His attorney argued that he was under extreme mental and emotional stress after mistakenly thinking his mother had killed his daughter and his wife, who he found out was allegedly having affairs. Pereira is scheduled to be sentenced on October 2nd. For the first time since the deadly shark attack on Oahu's North Shore, we're hearing from the widow of the man who was killed. Eddie Dowd has more.
Tamayo Perry lived in the Sunset Beach area for the last 25 years with his wife, Amelia. She says Sunday started out like any normal day, with him kissing her goodbye as he went to work. She never expected that to be the last time she would see him. Officials say the 49-year-old city lifeguard and Hauula native died from an apparent shark attack Sunday afternoon while surfing on his lunch break in waters off Kahuku. Amelia says Tamayo was a man of deep faith who believed in life after death. She says he would go around trying to get people to go to church, and she says that's why she's sharing that faith with the rest of the world.
He died living his passion, and that's what made him so great as a waterman. And I also feel like when it's your time, like it's like he could have gotten hit in a car on the way there. He's in heaven. Yeah, and it's the most magical place, and that's where I have this crazy calmness. And I'm still upset and devastated, don't get me wrong, but I just have a weird sense of peace that he's in such a better place. And it's beautiful up there, and he's probably getting super barreled as we speak.
Tamayo and Amelia did not have children together. Friends are staying with Amelia during this difficult time. A GoFundMe has been set up for her that's already raised more than $55,000. Now, Amelia says aside from being a lifeguard and former pro surfer, Tamayo was also an actor and was filmed playing him as a lifeguard in upcoming episodes of the new show Rescue High Surf. Reporting live in the Sunset Beach area, Eddie Dowd, Hawaii News Now.
President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump are preparing for Thursday night's debate. Bradley Blackburn explains what we can expect.
Hello, everybody. It's great to be with you.
Former President Trump took time out of his debate prep to call into a Black Americans for Trump campaign event at an Atlanta barbershop Wednesday.
You think you're going to get a fair shot from Jake Tapper and Dana Bash tomorrow night?
Well, I think it would be good for them if they did it. I think probably not.
Trump campaign has been focusing on outreach to African American voters, looking for better results than 2020.
Black folk will vote for him if they get gas under $1.
A recent CBS News poll shows President Joe Biden leading Trump 81 to 18% among likely black voters surveyed.
I officially endorsed President Biden today.
For its part, the Biden campaign is actively courting dissatisfied Republicans. Former Illinois Congressman Adam Kinzinger and his staff have been working to recruit more Republicans to campaign for President Biden.
The Biden campaign is doing a good job of reaching out for individuals that look like us and talk like us and think like us and have campaigned as conservatives.
Kinzinger was one of only 2 Republicans to serve on the House investigation of the January 6th attack.
Donald Trump, at the beginning of every one of his rallies, has the January 6th people that have been detained sing the national anthem. He calls them the January 6th hostages.
CBS News has learned Biden plans to make defending democracy a central theme in the debate. In a new AP News poll, a majority of Democrats and Republicans say they are extremely or very likely to follow the debate by either watching it live or watching clips and news coverage later. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
The Supreme Court accidentally posted today what appears to be a draft of its Idaho abortion decision. To be clear, this decision has not yet been officially released by the Supreme Court, and the document was quickly removed from its website. However, Bloomberg Law, which obtained a copy of the document, is reporting that the decision would allow emergency abortions in Idaho. The Supreme Court issued a statement acknowledging that the court's publications unit inadvertently and briefly uploaded a document to the court's website, but also stressed decisions in the Moyle versus United States and Idaho versus United States have not been released, and that those rulings will be issued in due course. The controversial Rimpac is preparing to take place here in the islands. Our Casey Lund explains.
Aloha from just outside Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam, that massive multinational military exercise set to start tomorrow on Thursday. We'll be hearing from military leaders from different nations as they begin this really large undertaking and operation. The USS Carl Vinson came into port yesterday afternoon. We were actually expecting it early this morning here at Pearl Harbor. They were ahead of schedule. Still though, we are already seeing some of the action off Hawaiian shores. That's live fire training from U.S. Marines as 29 nations are set to come here to Hawaii for this massive exercise. It happens every 2 years. It runs through August 1st. Now, despite the efforts to focus on some local initiatives, including healthcare management exercises right here in Hawaii, many groups are not happy that Rimpac is still happening.
These war games are not games at all. They are an actual war with devastating impacts for Kanaka Oiwi and all residents of Hawaii. For 53 years, the Rimpac exercises have only terrorized and endangered humans and the complex living ecosystems of the Pacific. The rate of sex trafficking disproportionately affecting Native Hawaiian women and girls rises 30% during Rimpac. The use of Navy sonar has been proven to confuse and harm whales, leading to mass die-offs and beachings.
Today, together with the Resist NATO Coalition, we denounce the Rimpac war games and demand an end to military exercises in unequal agreements. We uphold the fight for national sovereignty, free of foreign military intervention and influence, and support the struggle of all people from Hawaii to the Philippines and all over the world to cancel these games once and for all.
This is video from just yesterday afternoon as that USS Carl Vinson aircraft carrier arrived into port. The Carl Vinson, a San Diego-based aircraft carrier, home to 5,000 sailors, pilots, and other crew members. The $3.8 billion nuclear-powered ship has played a key role in the fight against ISIS in Syria and Iraq. The aircraft carrier also carried Osama bin Laden's dead body before he was buried at sea. Another asset that arrived in the last few days is the Lee Boam Suk. It pulled into Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam 2 days ago. As far as maritime vessels go, this Korean submarine is one of 40 surface ships. 3 submarines will be participating. There will also be 14 national land forces, more than 150 aircraft conducting large-scale exercises throughout the summer Again, the final day for Rimpac 2024 is August 1st. We'll be covering the exercise throughout those months. Again, military leaders set to have a press conference tomorrow morning at Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam. We'll be there for that and bring you the very latest. Reporting outside the base, I'm Casey Lund. For now, we'll send things back to you.
Hawaii News Now has learned that a baking mix company out of Kailua that came under fire for trademarking the Hawaiian word okina has shut down. When the company trademarked the Hawaiian word okina, which is also the diacritical mark and the 13th letter in the Hawaiian alphabet, it left a foul taste for community leaders and lawmakers in the new Native Hawaiian Intellectual Property Working Group. The move was criticized as cultural appropriation, and hours after H&N's initial story aired about the situation, the company's website went down, and on Tuesday, the business said it had closed.
I'm really happy that they're listening to us, that somebody is paying attention. We are Native Hawaiians. We're happy to share our cultural practices with the world, but you don't get to own it.
In a statement, the company said Okina was a tiny one-person passion project with the intent of helping to improve the health of people and our planet and supporting small family farms. Kumu were consulted during the naming of the company, and the name was a way to connect the founder with a place that she loves and that she and 5 generations of her family have called home. The business is closed and is grateful for the many people who have supported it. You can find more details on this story on our website, hawaiinewsnow.com. And yesterday, Honolulu Mayor Rick Blangiardi joined our host on Spotlight Now. Here's some of that conversation.
On the last Spotlight Now, we featured Mayor Rick Blangiardi, where he addressed a number of issues in the city and county of Honolulu. One of the hot topics that we discussed was rail and the future of Lori Kahikina.
There has been a lot of tension between the HART CEO and the board. Today, the mayor again voicing his full support for a multi-year contract for Lori Kahikina.
It's not an easy job. This is a really challenging job, and it takes a lot. But she's doing it, and she's doing it well. And you know, maybe I'm the old coach, right? You got somebody out there playing really well. You don't change up here. You expect professional people to be able to work together in a professional way and keep out all that other stuff. There's no need for that. It doesn't do anything but satisfies people's egos, and I'm not a big believer in that.
The mayor also addressed the rise in crime in the Ke'eaumoku area, including a high-profile stabbing that happened on June 15th. He said that he's directed the police chief to have more boots on the ground when it comes to police officers, both in and out of uniform.
Another issue that the mayor addressed was homelessness. Actually, breaking news giving us an update of a future kahale in the downtown area.
In fact, we are about to open up the First Hawaiian Bank building, which we bought. And hopefully will be operational within a week. We're going to be announcing it, so there's a little breaking news. 30 kauhale on the outside, 30 beds on the inside, total of 60, fully staffed with a medical team of trained all the way through psychiatrists to other people, and an ability to pick up people on the street.
On the next Spotlight Now, we'll be tackling an issue that has many homeowners worried.
Yeah, we're talking about the rise in condo insurance, and that's trickling down to the individual homeowners as well. Commissioner Gordon Ito will be in the studio along with House Speaker Scott Saiki. What can the state do to help keep these costs down? Join us at 1 o'clock on K5.
And joining us now in the Hawaii News Now Digital Center, HPD Sergeant Chris Kim with another look at some cases of recent crimes around Oahu, and a warning, some of these videos may be disturbing to watch. Let's jump right into the first one. Chris, this is a purse snatching. What can you tell us?
Yeah, as far as this purse snatching on Wednesday, June 19, 2024, at about 1:50 p.m., this elderly female was walking over the area on Makaloa Street and Amana Street when this suspect on a moped came up behind her and snatched her purse. She tried holding on to it. She's obviously, by looking at the video footage, she was dragged, sustained some injuries, and he was able to make away with her purse. We actually do have video of this guy. He's kind of pacing back and forth in the Makaloa area, and it looks like he was kind of praying his next target. So we just want to use this as a learning tool as well. It's kind of remind the public that there are people out there like this who are actually basically looking out. They're looking out for their next opportunity. Unfortunately, he found this senior citizen and was able to make off with her purse. He's being described as an unknown male with a slim build, wearing a blue and white checkered pattern hoodie, light blue denim jeans, and he fled on a black Pronto moped.
Is it too early to say if any arrests have been made, or do we know who this person is?
We're still working on it. We're actually hoping that someone in the public sees this video and it just causes an outrage, like this poor senior citizen is kind of going about, her day when she was, viciously attacked in that way. So once again, we're hoping that someone does recognize this person or may have heard something about it. We've had cases like this in the past where they'd be like, hey, the guy's covered up. How are you going to solve this case? But we have managed to solve cases in the past before with the public's help. And once again, we're pleading to the public in helping us solve this case as well.
Right. And this next video, it's a lot to take in. Can you walk us through what we're seeing here?
Sure. As far as this case on Sunday, June 16, 2024, at about 3:51 p.m., five individual males entered a vape shop over at 655 Keomoku Street. There was one lone employee working. They physically assaulted and attacked the employee while the other males began to grab whatever they could. They then ran out of the store and ran into a neighboring apartment complex where they tried to flee that way. A couple of them were able to ditch the clothing that they were wearing. In the event that police were notified, they'd be wearing something else as compared to what was being described when police were notified. We're hoping, once again, not all these people are covered up. A couple of them, we do have clear shot of their faces. So please, public, if you know anything about this case or do recognize any of these individuals, they're all being described as five local males, late teens to early 20s. Once again, we do have great footage of some of their faces. Once again, if you do recognize any of these people, please contact us at Crime Stoppers.
All right. And we have one more case here.
Yeah, as far as this last case on Sunday, June 9, 2024, about 9:35 a.m., this unknown male kicked in the door of the establishment over at the McCully Shopping Center. My heart goes out to this business person. My understanding that this is the second time that they were targeted. It's basically like a small business shop, just trying to get by. And you have someone like this causing these type of damages, what ends up leading to $1,000 worth that she's going to have to shell out. He's been described as an unknown African-American male, medium build, black, short hair, wearing a dark colored long sleeve hoodie, plaid shorts and slippers. All three cases we talked about today can be seen over at the www.honolpd.org website, bottom left-hand corner, under wanted persons, as well as all the other cases that we need the help in the community in solving.
And going back to this vape shop incident, it's just so wild to see. Not only did they ransack the store, but they also started throwing the items over the wall, which I'm not sure if they knew there was a pool there or not, but it ended up in the water, a lot of it. So.
Yeah, I'm guessing that they didn't know they were trying to just get their clean getaway. They tossed the items that they were carrying in order to hop that wall. And unfortunately for them, they threw those items into the pool. So I don't know what good it's going to be used for them. Yeah. But, one thing I want to highlight too, this particular shop, there was only one employee working. Just business owners, just be mindful that things like this are happening. Just take the proper precautions, whether it be hiring security or more employees, investing in better surveillance systems as well.
All right, Chris Kim, thank you so much for joining us here. Let's send things live outside now through a look towards Waikiki, thanks to the Waikiki Aquarium Cam. It's a beautiful day. Stay with us. We're going to have more news and weather right after this.
How's it on this Wednesday? The beautiful weather continues for the next couple of days. We could see some rain coming in from the east over the weekend as a disturbance is forecast to be developing. Again, that's over the weekend. But for today, tomorrow, and for most of Friday, this is what we'll see. We'll start out with a few early morning showers for those windward and Mauka areas. Most leeward sides should remain fairly dry through Friday. And these winds are in the process of slowing down, and that means humidity levels will be climbing for the next few days. So still, though, we'll have a trade and breeze, and that means it won't be all that bad. Should be pretty beautiful out there. So Wednesday's going to look a lot like this. We'll see a few showers in the morning, lots of sunshine after that. High temperatures running to the upper 80s, but those trade-ins will help to keep us cool, blowing in at a steady 10 to 20 miles an hour. Surf's on the way down pretty much island-wide, but we are expecting a pulse up in the country sometime tomorrow, and then we've got some fun-sized waves on the east side as well as on the south side. So we've got these beautiful conditions at least through Friday, but we could see increasing showers over the weekend. In fact, there is a chance that Kauai even sees some isolated thunderstorms. Not a guarantee, but just something to be aware of. And then drier weather moves back in on Monday.
In today's news from the feeds, subscribers of Paramount Plus should be prepared to pay a little more to watch their favorite shows. The streaming service has announced it is raising prices slightly for its customers. The company said Monday the monthly price for its Paramount Plus with Showtime plan will go up $1 to $12.99 per month. Its Paramount Plus Essential plan will increase by $2 to $7.99 per month. New customers will see those new prices take effect on August 20th, while existing customers won't see those increases until a month later. In today's Good News Now, do you remember this diehard Taylor Swift fan? She did a television interview literally undercover while in line for Taylor Swift merchandise in Cincinnati last year, all because she called in sick to work to be there. Well, now 1 year later, we finally know her identity. Annie Brown was the reporter on the other side of the mic and caught up with her after all this time.
We made the hour-and-a-half trip to visit Blanket Swiftie at home, and while it was a weekday, she hadn't called in sick to work this time.
Hello. Hi. How are you? I'm good. Look at you. It's good to see you. Good to see you.
Lisa Willis has lived in Louisville her whole life, but when she and her friend decided to travel to Cincinnati to stand in Taylor Swift's Eras Tour merch line, she had no idea that just hours later, she'd be internet viral.
I came home and slept because we were so tired from being out there, and my friend had messaged me and was like, is this you? Because this is something that you would do. And I remember being like, where did you see this? Like, how did you get a hold of this? This was in Cincinnati, like we are in Louisville. And she said, it's everywhere.
Willis had called in sick to work that day in order to wait in line for coveted Taylor Swift merch. And when we asked her for an interview, she requested her identity
shall remain anonymous,
so work wouldn't find out. What started as a funny take on Swiftie's dedication soon became an internet sensation. The inspiration behind countless internet memes, t-shirts, costumes, and artwork, even garnering the attention of national news networks and Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell while on press for the movie Anyone But You.
It's extremely weird. Me and my mom went to a coffee shop and they had little Who's the Better Kentuckian? Blanket Swiftie or Jack Harlow, and Blanket Swiftie won. So that's weird.
Willis's life is forever changed by the moment thanks to supportive Swifties and internet trolls alike. But she doesn't let any negative comments about her sick day habits detract from the humor, especially since work didn't mind when it found out.
And they love it. They talk about it all the time, so it's all good. Sorry, internet trolls.
Since we spoke with Willis last year, her life isn't just changed by her internet fame. She's also expecting a baby boy, her second child, in October. Just 9 days before she'll attend the Eras Tour for a third time in Indianapolis.
That was like one of the first things I thought about when I found out I was pregnant.
So you are hardcore. You are planning to go no matter what.
Oh, yeah. I will be there.
Passing on the love for Taylor Swift to her young daughter, who will now be a big sister.
We actually had a lover-themed baby shower for her. And, you know, she grew up, like, she's growing up listening to her. I just think it's very important because Taylor Swift's about women empowerment, like equal rights, all of that. So I just want to instill that in my child also.
And hoping Taylor Swift might name her baby boy.
Taylor Swift, if you see this, name my baby, please, because I don't have a name.
Oh boy, such a fun story there. It's so good to finally know the identity of who was behind that blanket. And we have time for one more story today. You could be in the shoes of the late king of rock and roll. Elvis Presley's famous blue suede shoes are up for grabs at a British auction house. Henry Aldridge and Son, the opening bid is at nearly $70,000, and bidding starts this Friday. They are expected to go up for about $150,000. And a fun fact, they are size 10.5, stamped with the non-Bush brand, and they were worn by Presley both on and off stage during the 50s. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good day.